Hi, I'm Mrs. Portnoy. I am the Director of Health Services here at Pinkerton Academy. I've been asked to go over a few questions and key points with you, so hopefully you find this information helpful. The key point with hand washing. You need to wash your hands with preferably warm water and soap for at least 20 seconds, if not more. And you need to get palms of your hands, tops of your hands, in between your fingers, underneath your fingertips, all of that. 20 seconds can be Happy Birthday song or the alphabet song. If you can't wash your hands, hand sanitizer is always a good option. It has to be 60% alcohol or higher, and same thing, palms of your hands, tops of your hands, in between your fingers, underneath your fingernails. There you go. So that ties me into the next point, is proper etiquette for putting your mask on and taking your mask off. You need to wash your hands or use hand sanitizer anytime before you touch your mask. So I just use my hand sanitizer, and I'm going to show you first, because my mask is on, how to take it off correctly. We do not want hands touching the face of your mask. The correct way to do this is off with an ear loop and off with an ear loop. And then to store your mask, we would like you to put it in a paper bag or a baggie and slip it in so that you can get it out by the ear loops. To put your mask on, you're going to wash your hands. And again, ear loop to ear loop. And it is okay to grab up here real quick to pull over your nose and touch down here to pull over your chin if you need to. If you have a surgical mask on, it is okay with 2 fingers to form that spot to your nose and get that wire to form. Again, before you touch your mask, you must always wash your hands or use sanitizer. If your mask is soiled, broken, if the ear straps are falling apart, please discard of it and get a new one. And we do recommend that you wash your cloth masks nightly with hot water and dry on high heat. All right. All students and parents and caregivers, as you know, are being asked to fill out the self-monitoring form daily. There are a field of questions in there that we are asking you to answer every day, and really check in with yourself. How are you feeling? If you have a temperature of 100.4 or higher, you need to stay home. That's not to say, though, that if you have a fever of 99 or 100.0 or 100.2 and you're really not feeling well, you have a sore throat, you're coughing, you just don't feel well, best bet is to stay home. So that's our first step. Should your student come to campus and start to feel ill while they're here, teachers have a helpful hint list of signs and symptoms that they are going to look for, and also students can ask to come down to the nurse's office. Before they get into the main health office, they will be screened outside in the field house here. We will have a nurse who has a set of screening questions, very similar to the ones that you filled out in the morning, plus a couple of other ones. Upon answering those questions, should a student have any of the signs and symptoms of COVID, which we can get information for you later on what all the signs and symptoms are if you need a reminder, should a student have even one sign or symptom that meets the CDC criteria, they will be escorted down to the isolation room, where they will also be met by a nurse in full PPE. Each student will have their own separate area for their own belongings outside of their little designated spot, and at that point we will be calling home and the student will need to be dismissed. Should a student need to come down for a daily medication pass, or they sprained their ankle, or they got a cut, same thing. They will be met outside at the screening area. They will answer the questions, they will have their temperature taken, and as long as there are no signs or symptoms that they answer yes to on that list, then they'll come into the main health office and proceed from there with the nurse. The main health office is going to be our clean area, our well area. Other questions. The 14-day quarantine is for those who were exposed to COVID-19, that we know that they were exposed. You cannot test out of quarantine. Even if you get tested and your test is negative, you must quarantine for 14 days due to having been exposed to a positive case of COVID-19. Pinkerton is following the CDC guidelines that the CDC has set forth. We are also working very closely with New Hampshire DHHS, and we are following those guidelines as well. Unfortunately, the signs and symptoms of COVID are very, very similar to your symptoms of a common cold, common GI bug. So yes, when we have anybody who is presenting with any questionable signs or symptoms, they will be sent home. The state is asking that we have documented information regarding all chronic conditions, including allergies, from the student's PCP. We're looking to have outlined signs and symptoms, and what we will be looking at if somebody comes down with a chronic runny nose or chronic allergies. What is new or different today? Do you have any new or different symptoms, or do you have any worsening symptoms? Are your allergy symptoms worse today than they were 2 days ago? I hope you find this helpful.